Welcome back. Day 11 of drafting the big board every day until I win 200K. I already know it's mine this year. We're in a draft, so let's get right into it. We got pick 11. Okay. I don't think I've had pick 11 yet. The back end of the draft, not my favorite with the players that are here right now. Gene T's going in the first round now. He was going in the middle of the second when this first opened. Might be my first pick. I'd like Gene T more than H-N. I just don't like the Dolphins this year. It's hard to imagine that Gene T's going to be worse than last year as well. We see Gibbs rising. All these running backs are going higher and higher, which makes sense to me. I think a lot of people are on the same page about getting some running backs early and then wide receiver values later. Seems like, what the fucking Woody Marks? Excuse me? Excuse me? What? Okay. Hopefully this draft isn't going to get thrown out. Hopefully that's just a one-off. I don't want to waste my time here. That'd be pretty disappointing. We were saying running backs should go early. I don't know about Woody Marks, number one. I do like Woody Marks as a value where he's getting drafted, but you can wait about 10 rounds. So there's that. Okay. Well, I wish I was picking a little higher on this one now. Okay. Well, I really hope this draft doesn't get thrown out. That would be a bummer because I only have time for one draft today. So let's cross our fingers and toesies. Hope it doesn't get thrown out. Sipping on some coffee. This guy takes H-Chan. Okay. I'm not a big fan of CMC, but if he is there at 11, I'll probably just take him. Christian McCaffrey goes. Okay. I want the running backs. St. Brown's hard to pass on. I'm going to take St. Brown first. Hopefully James Cook or Gene T comes back to us. If not, we'll just mix it up, try something different. I'm a big Lions fan, so I have a hard time passing up St. Brown, especially at pick 11, man. Like, he's just one of the most solid guys. You still need to start 3 wide receivers. Always feels good. Okay, this guy passed on James Cook and took Gene T first, so hopefully we get James Cook on the way back. That would feel good and unique as far as a start. Let's go. Okay. Please don't cancel this draft because this is a nice, unique start. Getting Amon-Ra St. Brown and James Cook. I don't think I've seen anyone with this start yet. That's pretty sweet. I really hope this guy just misclicked with his first pick or something and just drafts normally the rest of the way. Let's hope. Please don't be a weirdo, man. Man, I love coffee. Only way to have your coffee is black. That's just it. I put collagen in mine too because we're on our health grind. Got to get that collagen. Got to repair those building blocks, you know. Let's see. Do I recognize any names here? Doherty looks like a familiar name. It's the only one I really recognize. Drew Cypher. There goes Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers feels like a nice bet this year. He's going around the same place that he did last year. However, a much better situation. Okay, this guy takes Pickens and Rashee Rice. So Woody Marks must have just been a misclick. And we'll take that because that definitely allowed us to get St. Brown and James Cook. Hold on one sec. My laundry's loud. I'm just going to close that door. Okay, we're back. Hopefully, no one can hear my laundry going. Got to multitask, Only got so much time in a day. Got to be efficient. Bucky Irving feels like a pretty decent third round bet. Derrick Henry. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him this year. Like he showed last year in some games, he still got it. He got like 40 points or something in week 17, I believe. But for a lot of the season, he just wasn't getting utilized and had some fumbling issues. So that's an interesting one because, I mean, if he even just has his season last year, then it's pretty good in the third round for his ceiling. Okay. I would love to get some receivers, but I'm probably going to take Kenneth Walker if he's there, just for the fact that I like the receivers more later than the running backs. J1 takes Kenneth Walker. So let's go ahead and get our first share of T. Higgins, first or second share, but I haven't really drafted him much. Yeah, these receivers feel nice right here. This little pocket feels nice. But Devontae Adams, no, not this year. T-Mac, AJ Brown, kind of tough. Like, I want to take AJ Brown just because he's fucking AJ Brown and can still just go nuts and have big games. So I'm gonna do that. Like, it's like we're talking about AJ Brown in the 4th round. Like, come on. This is a guy with an elite ceiling. He is getting older. He does throw temper tantrums, but a guy who can get 30 points a game. And that's what we want in best ball. Yeah, it's hard for me to pass up AJ Brown in the 4th round. Like, I don't have T-Mac yet. I love Jameson Williams. Lad McConkey's a phenomenal value. All these guys right here. Like, I'd probably take all 4 of these guys before Garrett Wilson just for his situation. But this is a really nice start. James Cook, Amon-Ra St. Brown, T. Higgins, and AJ Brown. Like, as far as just players with talent, that's awesome. And I'm probably going to be looking to draft Joe Burrow in round 6 because we see quarterbacks go really high in these 20-round drafts. And if I have to reach a couple picks, I don't care. I don't think it makes much of a difference, especially when we have these really strong running backs or receivers, and there's no real good running backs in that range that excite me. I'd rather take 2 running backs in this range. And we're seeing the receivers just fly off the board now. We got Mellow Nuggets, who doesn't have a receiver through 4 rounds. Not necessarily the best strategy. So the title of this live stream is How to Win. And I think the best strategy and how to win these big board drafts is to not put too much thought into it, not overthink things, draft talented players, and just kind of hope the pieces fall where you need them to. That might not be the most exciting answer to hear. Some people might want to hear, oh, you got to draft these players with the best ADOT and yards after catch and get this specific combination. But like, these drafts are going to be settled 11 months from now. You got to remember that. Like, The football season is so unpredictable. You don't know what injuries are going to happen. You don't know what teams are going to be good. You don't know what teams are going to shit the bed. So just draft some talented players. Build a roster that makes sense. This guy's still going without a receiver. Okay. And Pac Fanto got the nice Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson stack. That's nice if you can get that round 4, round 5. That feels good. We could get DeAndre Swift if we want a running back. He's just not very exciting to me. I think I would rather go with another receiver. And then Joe Burrow on our way back. I like the lemon. And the lemon goes. Okay. Do we want Brian Thomas? It's just a guy that can have a high elite weekly ceiling, maybe. Not my favorite pick. Like in a vacuum, I probably think Parker Washington has a better season, to be honest. But we'll take him. We're just getting guys that have elite ceilings. That's pretty much it. Guys that can get 30 points a week or 30 points in a game. All 5 of my guys are very easily can get 30 points. So that feels good to me. Joe Burrow, Drake May. Like, I'm sure a lot of people want to take Drake May ahead of Joe Burrow. And maybe I should. Maybe I should just say fucking take Drake May. He doesn't even really have stacking options, though. And I don't know. I'd honestly rather just get Joe Burrow. Is that crazy? Is it crazy that I'd rather have Joe Burrow than Drake May for my quarterback? I don't know. That could be a fun debate. Like, Drake May is probably the most exciting right now, just being that he's about to play in the Super Bowl. He's going to be going into his 3rd year. But they played a lot of easy opponents this past season. And we saw how he's played against more elite defenses in the playoffs. Now, obviously, the playoffs are a different story than the regular season, but still, Joe Burrow proven it over and over again. And as long as he can stay healthy, he is an elite quarterback. Even for someone who doesn't run a lot, he is an elite quarterback, elite passer. Maybe I should have went Marvin Harris instead of Brian Thomas. I think I might have liked him more. Oh, well. It's February. We don't know what's going to happen. Brian Thomas could very likely get traded as well. There are already trade rumors about him. Parker Washington broke out last year. Jacoby Myers got re-signed to a 3-year deal. Travis Hunter, I'm sure, still wants to play both ways. Whether he's going to is to be seen. Jalen Hurts goes. So now these quarterbacks are going off the board, which is why I took Joe Burrow, because yeah, I don't know which one of them is going to come back to me. None of them are going to come back to me. If Trevor Lawrence comes back, I might just take him as well. But we could push and try and get Goff, actually. Did Jamison Williams go at the turn? No, Jamison Williams went here. So this guy might take Goff at 105 from us, which is good to look at. You know, when you're making these drafts and you want to try and project some stuff and think about a few rounds ahead. And if some players are going to fall to you, be available. It's a good way. It's a good way to try and plan and construct a good team that makes sense. Harold Fannin, I thought I was going to be drafting a lot of Harold Fannin this year because I would have expected him to go in maybe like the 10th round. But going in the 7th round feels a little rich, just considering he's playing on the Browns. Like that's pretty much it. He's on the Browns, man. Here, I'm taking Ricky Pearsall if he's available, and just get our fifth wide receiver, and then we're crushing at wide receiver. Jackson Darkos, like we can take Bayshell Tootin, but Bayshell Tootin feels not great. Like this is kind of just projection that Travis Etienne is going to be out of there. And even if Travis Etienne is going to be out of Jacksonville, I don't think Bayshell Tootin is just going to take over his role completely. I think it's more likely that he has the same or a similar role to this past year, even though he showed some promise as a runner. Yeah, just not my best bet, not my favorite bet. Maybe as like my third or fourth running back, but as my second running back, I don't know. And I'm gonna take Blake Corum. Like I feel like I'm just repeating myself early in these drafts, taking a lot of similar players. Or I could push it and I could go with a tight end. Maybe I get a little different. Let's do it. Let's get Sam Laporta. Let's get Laporta. Fuck it. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's switch it up. Just go with our straight hero running back and then try and get two running backs with our next turn. Could take Tucker Kraft as well, but Tucker Kraft coming off an ACL injury doesn't feel as good to me as Sam Laporta coming off a back injury. Even though, like, Tucker Kraft was one of the most efficient tight ends last year. He just got so many touchdowns, and I was big on him. Tucker Kraft was my most drafted tight end. Sam Laporta, we get some Detroit correlation here, and I'm just a Lions stan, so I'll always be happy with that. We have a 1-1-5-1 start. So this team, we can probably just stop at 7 receivers if we really want to, with St. Brown, T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, Brian Thomas, and Ricky Pearsall. Like, that is a phenomenal receiver room. And if they stay healthy, that's fucking amazing. Ricky Pearsall would have smashed last year if he was healthy. He was one of my higher drafted receivers. Unfortunately, had some health issues, didn't find the end zone. But with Kittle likely to miss at least half of next season, if not the full season, and their receiver room being very diminished as it is, Ricky Pearsall has all the opportunity in the world. And at pick 83, that is a smash. So long as he stays healthy. Like, but again, it's February. You know, we can't predict those things. We just have to draft off talent right now. And he's talented. So obviously, I want some running backs to come back to me. If Rico Dowdle, Tyler Algier, David Montgomery come back to me, Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt even, I'm probably going to have to take 2 of these guys. And I want to think about another receiver as well, because we probably aren't going to have any stacking options available. So maybe it wasn't the best pick to take Sam Laporta as far as like structure wise. It could have been smarter to take the running back and free us up a little bit, but we're having fun here. We're having fun. We're trying different things. I don't want to draft the exact same every draft, you know. Brock Purdy's going to be a little hard to pass up if he's available. He has rushing upside as well. And then I'd be very happy stopping at 2 quarterbacks. Who does this guy have? I'm gonna have to take a running back first, and then I might just go with a quarterback next, and then I can be happy with 2. Brock Purdy goes, so I'm gonna take David Montgomery ahead of Tyler Algier. And Jared Goff is going to be hard for me to pass up, especially with so many Lions on the team. It would be a little tough for me to pass up. And maybe like we can get Tyrone Tracy with our next pick in the next round and just get like 7 running backs if we want to. Jared Goff gets taken from us. Okay. Jared Goff gets taken. Yeah, Tyler Algier will be the pick. Sure. Maybe Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is a better pick. Tyler Algier kind of depends on the situation he goes to. We're assuming he goes to a team other than the Falcons. I'm not sure if he's gonna get re-signed there, but he's been solid. You know, him and David Montgomery are very similar type players. And now we have our classic 1-3-5-1 through the first 10 rounds. That's like pretty much what you want to aim for, and one of the more solid constructions through your first half of the draft. We have our starting quarterback, our starting tight end, and then we have 2 starting running backs and a flex, 3 starting receivers, and 2 to spare. Definitely going to need some upside at running back. This is a team where I would probably look to draft some rookies later on. Even though I still don't know a ton of the rookies, doesn't really matter because combine hasn't even happened yet. Obviously, the draft hasn't happened. We don't know the situation for these guys, so we're kind of just drafting blind. Like for running backs, talent is one thing, but where you're drafted and the situation is the most important. And we have no idea what that is right now. Another quarterback. I have to think about another quarterback. Like, do I want to take one of these guys I can push later? They just dry up so quick, man. Quarterbacks just dry up so quick. We'll see who's available for us. If Jordan Love somehow comes back to us, I'm going to be a little bummed out that I took Sam Laporta over Tucker Kraft. If Sam Darnold's there, I would take Darnold and then just backstack him with Rashid Shaheed or like AJ Barner, Torrey Horton. He's got backstacking options. We'll see who comes to us. Let's take a look at this draft board. Kenneth Gainwell, I don't like his value. So it kind of feels like he was an Arthur Smith disciple. And with him gone and being a free agent, not my favorite bet to make. Jake Ferguson, that's a nice value tight end. Mendoza, he goes. I need another running back. Tyrone Tracy, I like him here. And then on the way back, we could look at Bryce Young. He has some backstacking options. We're just a little limited as far as who else we have for our quarterbacks. Brenton Strange goes. Yeah, I'm going to get Tyrone Tracy first. And then it's a little tough. It's a little tough for our next pick. I think I just want to draft a quarterback. We need a quarterback. Cam Ward goes. I'll take Bryce Young over CJ Stroud. He has more rushing upside and some backstacking options. Looking at where does is Coker already gone? Is the Cokehead already gone? Damn, he's going that high? Kind of makes me wish I drafted T-Mac over AJ Brown now. But still, like AJ Brown in the 4th round, man, that is so hard to pass up. Just for the elite ceiling, like that's so hard to pass up. Even if he's inconsistent, like all he needs is week 17, get 180 yards and 2 touchdowns, which is well within his range of possibilities. And if he gets traded, he's going to go a lot higher in these drafts. Like he can just bounce right back up to the second round very easily. Like AJ Brown versus Justin Jefferson, is there really much of a difference between these guys? Like really? Justin Jefferson, more name value, a little younger, but both kind of have shaky quarterback situations. Both throw fits. Both are inconsistent. And yeah, like one's going in the second round, one's going in the fourth. Give me AJ Brown. Like that's not really a stance I'm afraid to take. AJ Brown over Justin Jefferson. So let's take a look at our team. We're looking at Joe Burrow, Bryce Young as our quarterbacks, James Cook, David Montgomery, Tyler Algier, Tyrone Tracy for our running backs. Receivers, we have St. Brown, T. Higgins, AJ Brown, Brian Thomas, Ricky Pearsall, and Sam Laporta for our tight end. I like this team. It feels good. It feels balanced. It feels deep. Pause. I like it. I like it. Kind of need to take a look at Carolina. Leggett, I don't know. You know what? There might not even be any backstacking options for Bryce Young now that I think about it. Unless we go for some rookies, because I would expect them to draft a rookie receiver. We'll see who's there. Juwan Johnson would have been nice if he came back to me. I think he's a good value. I've been team Juwan Johnson over Mark Andrews pretty happily. I also think Josh Downs is a very nice value, especially if one of Alec Pierce or Michael Pittman is out of there. I know Michael Pittman's under contract, but I could see them trying to cut or trade him and retain Alec Pierce instead. Okay. Jalen McMillan. I love the value of Jalen McMillan, especially if Mike Evans is out of there too. Okay, I was going to take Jordan Mason ahead of Jalen McMillan, but we'll take J-Mac. Jalen McMillan, 13th round, 14th round. Feels great. Great ceiling. Baker was targeting him very heavily his first game back. And only going into his third year. Okay, there goes Brooks already. That's expensive for a guy who has like 8 yards rushing in the league. And I think right here, I'm just going to want to reach up for a running back. I'm not afraid to take Rashad White here. He's just a guy that's going to get some points. He's going to catch the ball regardless of what team he ends up on. And ADP doesn't matter right now. This is February. ADP doesn't mean shit. So I'm probably happy with these two quarterbacks. I don't need to force a third. I'll probably get 3 tight ends just because it's a 20-round draft. I'd be fine with 7 wide receivers on this team. We'll probably get 8. And I'm probably going to be looking at 7 running backs. I might take some shots on some rookies now. Even though I don't really know all the rookies yet, again, it doesn't matter. These drafts will be settled 11 months from now. Woody Marks is a good example of that. Like Woody Marks, when this tournament opened last year, he was being drafted like 130, 140, 150. And then the narrative came out that, oh, he's old, he's not that explosive. And then it was just going undrafted for like most of the drafts. And how did things turn out? Ended up being the RB1 in Houston. Ended up being a great contributor. Like we really don't know how these things are going to play out. DJ Giddens was a guy who got steamed up just based on his name. And if he was drafted to a different situation, maybe he would have played better. But went to the Colts, got like 10 yards rushing the whole year and dropped like 10 balls probably. We have no idea how these things are going to shake out. And sometimes I think less information is better. So you don't overthink things. Now, I know I said I'd be done at 2 quarterbacks, but if Daniel Jones comes back to us, I'm probably just gonna draft him. Even coming off an Achilles injury, that just feels fine. These tight ends are nice too. AJ Barner, Theo Johnson. Although if Mark Andrews is there at 179, like that's a spot where I'm willing to take him. I wouldn't draft him at 150 or any higher, but we're talking like round 15, round 16. I'm sure he's still gonna catch some touchdowns. And if that's how I get my shares of Mark Andrews, I'm cool with that. Never mind. He's gone. I'll take Kamani Vidal. I don't think I've drafted him yet. Trey Harris, very nice value. Or sorry, Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker, very, very nice value. I just don't need another receiver right now. We'll take Vidal. Could be downgraded to the RB3 next year if the Chargers decide to bring another guy in. But he also played well and kind of earned his role. So we'll see. AJ Barner, I think we just want to get another tight end here. Let's do that. Going into his 3rd year, he gets touchdowns. He gets the tush pushes. This guy just drafted Schultz and Njoku. I'd rather have AJ Barner over both of these guys. I'd rather have Njoku over Schultz too. So Joe Burrow, Bryce Young. Again, no stacks for Bryce Young, but I don't think we need to force it. He can run the ball a bit too. James Cook, David Montgomery, Tyler Algier, Tyrone Tracy, Rashad White, Kamani Vidal. That's a pretty nice hero running back room. James Cook, we would expect to start every week. And then with the talented receivers that we have, we just need one of these guys to spike into our lineup each week, assuming we start 4 wide receivers. And all these guys get touchdowns. And Rashad White, Kamani Vidal, they catch the ball. That's what we like. St. Brown, T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, Brian Thomas, Ricky Pearsall, Jalen McMillan. Stud wide receiver room. Sam Laporta, A.J. Barner. Nice tight ends. I like this team a lot. This feels really nice. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think. Now, Daniel Jones comes back to me in the next round. I'll just take him. Take the chance that he's a starter somewhere next year. What a bummer for him, though, that he got injured and he was playing so good, revived his career, changed the narrative with who he was as a player, and then just tears his Achilles. That sucks. So I'm also happy with just these 2 tight ends if that's how it goes for us. Totally fine. There goes Brian Robinson. Caleb Johnson's an interesting pick. He was so bad as a rookie and just never saw the field. Had some pretty dumb moves. Like he was the one who what was it? What happened? Where he was getting like the kick return and then just let it go in the end zone and then the other team recovered it or something like that for a touchdown. Jacoby Lane, sure, I'll take him. I don't think I've drafted Jacoby Lane. I don't know anything about him, but we'll take a rookie for the chance that he just ends up on Carolina. Why not? And now let's go with a 3rd tight end. We got some San Francisco correlation. I like George Kittle scares me this year. I don't know if he's ever going to be the same player. Jake Tongas, when he filled in for him, showed up, showed out. I can also see San Francisco drafting a tight end as a long-term replacement for Mr. George Kittle, but I think Jake Tongas has also earned a role. Showed good connection with both Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. Showed he can play. So to finish this draft off, who will we be looking at? Sure, I could have got like Jatavian Sanders to stack up with Bryce Young, but he hasn't really done anything his first 2 years. Doesn't impress me. I kind of think that's just more forcing a stack, and I'd rather draft a more talented player than force a stack. I don't need a 7th running back. I don't need an 8th receiver. I probably will go with an 8th receiver just because these are 20-round drafts. Probably go with 1 running back and 1 receiver to finish it off for a 2-7-8-3. Mhm. Like these running backs here are just so uncertain. Najee Harris. I wonder if he's like he tore his Achilles as well. I thought it was an ACL, but he tore his Achilles. It was really early in the year, but for someone who wasn't explosive to begin with, that's not good. That's not good. And running backs, they could just be out of the league the next day. It really doesn't matter what you've done before. Dalvin Cook is always my favorite example of that. He was a stud for many years, then completely fell off a cliff, like night and day from one season to the next, and never recovered, clearly. I like Christian Kirk at the end of drafts. Might not be the best archetype of receiver for when we have a lot of established guys getting a vet, but I think he's just going to get some points. So let's do it. We'll draft Christian Kirk and then finish off with a running back. I like taking a shot on Kalen Black, being that he was on the national championship team. That's always a good sign. Can catch balls, runs hard. And that's probably going to do it for me. Like, maybe we could have taken Leggett, actually, instead of Kirk. Even though, like, he was so bad. He was so bad. He really doesn't deserve to be on the field, to be honest. Like, watching him play, Najee Harris might be more agile than him. We'll take Kalen Black, and that will be the end of our team. We have Joe Burrow, Bryce Young, James Cook, David Montgomery, Tyler Algier, Tyrone Tracy, Rashad White, Kamani Vidal, Kalen Black, Amon-Ra St. Brown, T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, Brian Thomas, Ricky Pearsall, Jalen McMillan, Jacoby Lane, Christian Kirk, with Sam Laporta, A.J. Barner, and Jake Tongas as our tight ends. I like this team a lot. Again, this early in the year, we're just drafting talented players more than anything. We're not trying to force anything. We're not trying to gal brain anything. We're just drafting talent and hoping things fall our way. So I got to get to the gym. That's all I have time for today. Anyone watching, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm new to this, been doing it 11 days. So please leave a like, comment, tell a friend. It would mean the world to me. Thank you very much. I love you. Joy is beautiful. End stream.